name is Jim, and I'm a gunsmith. The name of my shop is Gunworks in Harrington, Maine. Today's rifle we're going to discuss about disassembling for cleaning is good old SKS. This rifle here in particular is a Yugoslavian made model. It's got the nice little grenade launcher sights that you flip up on it. Not like you're ever going to get to shoot any grenades or anything, but they're a nice little rifle. This rifle is chambered for 7.62 by 39. It's got a 10-round fixed magazine in it. So we're going to pull this rifle apart for cleaning. So what you want to do is before you start any other rifle, like any other rifle disassembly, before you start, you want to open the gun up and make sure there's nothing in the chamber. No ammunition inside. Because the last thing you really need to do is get yourself an accidental discharge. So, first thing you want to do is after you've made sure that the gun's not loaded, reach up and flip the safety off. Now, turn the gun upside down, you'll look back here on the back and you'll see, let me get a pin, you'll see a little detent right here. This rifle's fairly new and it's pretty tight, so it's going to be hard to push that in. So what I'll do is I'll take a little pin punch and a hammer and just set it right in the center right there. Give it a little tap. That pops the trigger assembly loose. These, when they're a little bit older and a little more well used, you can actually stick the tip of a bullet in there and push on it, but I kind of frown on using live projectiles as disassembly tools. At any rate, once you have this loose, you have your magazine opened up, just lift that, pull that trigger assembly right out and set it off to the side. Then you reach up here and you grab your magazine assembly, pull up on it, and remove that. Well, that may sometimes be a little easier said than done. There we go. Now, they do make aftermarket 30-round magazines that you can stick in these guns and replace them. What it'll have is like an extension on the front of the magazine. You just simply don't put your original magazine back in when you reassemble the gun. Now you turn the gun back over. You'll notice there's a lever right here on the back of the receiver. Lift that straight up and pull it straight out. And you remove your top cover. And you grab your recoil spring, lift up, pull it straight back, and it comes out. And you grab your cocking handle on the side of the gun right here and act like you're going to cock the gun. Pull it all the way to the rear and lift up. And your bolt assembly and your bolt carrier comes out. And these two pieces here will separate just like that. Set those off to the side. Now you can remove the stock by lifting up and pulling back. And your stock's out of the way. Now you know what? Let's get this sling out of the way here first. Might make disassembly just a little bit easier if everything wasn't all hooked together. And let's get this pesky bayonet out of the way too. Kind of interferes a little bit with disassembly. Now, once we're to this point right here, you can, well, before you get your bayonet up there, you can take the cleaning rod off and get it out of the way if you'd like. So once we're to this point, to further disassemble the gun, all you'll do is, you'll notice a lever right up here on the side of the sight block. Take your little pin punch or something and lift that up. And when you lift that up a little ways, you'll notice here in the front, as you're lifting that lever up, there's a flat spot that comes up. Once you have that flat spot lined up, you can lift the gas tube and everything completely off and dump the front piston out. Now the very last internal part to disassemble out of this gun for cleaning, you put your hand right here in front of the sight block and lift that lever up a little further. I'm trying to get to where you can see it. If you don't put your hand right there, you're going to lose the spring in the piston because there's your other piston. I like old military guns like this. They're easy to disassemble for cleaning and needs very few, if any, tools whatsoever. Now, for some strange reason, if you decide you want to dismantle the bolt, you can drive this pin here out the side, drive it from the small side out. Once you take that out, then you can remove your ejector, and then your firing pin will come right out the back. And that's it. That's your SKS rifle completely disassembled for cleaning. A reassembly for the SKS is pretty much the opposite of disassembly, and even though we don't normally show reassembly on video, we'll just do this one because it's going to be quick. You'll just take your inner piston, push it back in there, and then push your lever down until it holds it in place. Your gas piston will go right back in the tube. You'll hook this large flange over the gas port in the front. Then you'll lock that lever back down and it holds everything there in place. You take your bolt and you'll see you got a single wide hook. You have two smaller hooks. Your firing pin goes right in the middle right there. Just slide them back together and you can hold them in place with your thumb. Drop it back in, go forward with it, that's it. Then your recoil spring here, you'll notice on the end, if you have to take this apart, there's a little collar right there. You can push down on the spring and remove that collar and dismantle it. But unless you really need to, if it's really gunky, you can do that. Otherwise, just clean it like this. But that little plug will go in the front. Now what I like to do, since it sits back here against the inside of the receiver cover, so I don't have to wrestle that cover back in place, I always take and push it up and leave it right there like that. Move your lever in the upright position all the way extended out. Put your cover back in place, push that in. Lock it down until it stops in the detent. Your stock. Goes back into place there. You got to put your magazine back in. If you're not going to use a detachable magazine, you'll see that there's a little lip right here. Well, there's a place for it to catch on the inside there as well. Sometimes you got to argue with this thing a little bit. There we go. When you go to put this back in, you'll notice there's a tip here and a tip here, and that little disconnector. Just slide all that back into place right there like that. Pretty simple. All right. Pushing down on it, give a little love tap on the trigger guard to lock that back into place. And then let's fold this pig sticker back up under the barrel. There we go. And hook your sling back in. Come on. SKS 762 by 39, semi-automatic, gas operated. Nice little Woods carbine. They're pretty decent for shooting deer. If you want to hunt with one, you got to have a 5-round magazine, or you can put a little wood block in this one. They're not a bad little gun. I've always said that if you ever had to produce something like this in the U.S., it'd be extremely high dollar. There's a lot of milling machine work in these guns. The SKS carbine, not a bad little plinker. Thank you for watching this latest Gunworks video. Down East Gunworks is a full-service firearm repair service for all your long guns and handguns that includes a high-tech machine shop for tooling obsolete parts. Old or new, if you have a firearm that needs attention, Gunworks can probably fix it, solve it, coat it, and make it work. If you're living in Down East Maine, come by the shop for a visit. We're located on Route 1 in Harrington. If you live elsewhere, you can reach us by going to the website www.downeastgunworks.com or call in the shop at area code 207-483-2175. If you found this video helpful or interesting, please leave me a comment and rate the video. If you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you'll always know when I've posted something new. And thanks again for watching.